Get a phone holder. I know. I just literally said it. So I need to sort. I'm on the road. Poor Luton. Oh, Luton against Watford. Don't even go there. Andrew Tate is trolling Islam. Tate. Talk about the Ellie case. Shall I talk about the Ellie case? Let me talk about the Ellie case. There was a case about a girl in Barrow called Ellie. And there was a campaign, Justice for Ellie. Some of you may have seen it. I may have shared it with you. I was working on a story about a young girl called Ellie. Ellie Williams? Ellie Reynolds? Ellie Williams? Who had put up on Facebook pictures of her face beaten black and blue. And she had made the accusation that she had been a victim of Muslim grooming gangs. And she had named businesses, if I believe right, in the town of Barrow that had been involved in her prostitution and her rape. Now, I went to Barrow and I spent a good few days there, yeah, travelling around, meeting people, talking to people. Now, I always say that I want to tell you the truth. Yeah, I pride myself on the fact that I tell the truth. Now, when I went to Barrow, it would have been a very easy story for me to jump into. The accusation of Muslim businesses, raping a young girl, beating her, police failures, and go full 100% behind that story. But when I got to Barrow and I started investigating myself, I found a lot of problems. And a lot of problems with Ellie, a lot of problems with accusations she's historically made. So I'm not here to say that Ellie is not a victim of anything. Yeah, what I'm here to say is that she has falsely accused lots of men of rape previously to accusing these Pakistani groups in Barrow. Now, we can't choose to believe everything 100% because it suits our narrative or fits our narrative. There was a man who she, off her phone, made, and I was investigating this. I spent time speaking to a lot of people, travelling around. I was there for actually not days. I was there for a good while, and I found Ellie's stepdad. Her family, you may have seen. I think her nan is in charge of children's services. Her mum is a counsellor, Labour counsellor, something like that. Her stepdad. So her family know everything I know. Yeah. So to be pushing the story to you, I was making this into a documentary. If those Muslim men are innocent, then it's disgusting what's being said about them at the same time. Yeah, I remember walking into this Muslim gentleman's house, and as I walked in, he opened the door and he come out. Yeah, and some woman shouted racist at me, and some bloke shouted pedo at him. And I remember, and I said to him, I said, I won that one, bro. I won that one. But as I went into his house and I sat with his family, his son left college, had to leave college, 16 years old, over this story. Yeah? I met his wife, and I told them, like I tell everyone, I'm just here to get to the truth. I want to ask you questions. I want to understand what's gone on in here. I want to understand Ellie. I want to understand the accusations. And as I said, nothing adds up. Nothing adds up in the sense that that girl had previously created an account on her phone, and she created it in the name of a young boy. And then she'd said that that young boy had raped her, and she'd sent herself messages. This is what's been done. This is what was she done. Yeah, she'd sent herself messages. That young boy spent months on remand in prison for a crime he had never committed. He was suicidal. I met his mum. I met him. His entire life fucked. Branded as a rapist, a rumour against him that will never go away. I read every single bit of the information, the paperwork about his case. Yeah. So she'd accused him of rape, and he didn't rape her. She'd accused a boy at school of rape, and he didn't rape her. She'd accused multiple men of raping her and beating her. Okay? Because she had injuries and she was laying unconscious on the floor, or in an unconscious state on the floor when she accused this other boy of raping her. And it was impossible. He didn't do it. Yeah? So something crazy is going on in that girl's life. Yeah? And again, I'm not saying, but when I found her family, I've got all the footage. People may think, and I saw the media say I was there to inflame racial tensions. I was there to get to the truth, and I was going to tell you the truth. This court case is coming up, yeah? And the truth was, and I found so much out, yeah? So much out. I still may try and put this together into a quick doc, anyway. But you may remember the police arrested me and they banned me from entering the area. So we can't take, or when she puts a statement up about these Muslim men raping her, she was already on bail for falsely accusing multiple other men. And she had set up accounts on her phone in other men's names, sent herself messages of threats and violence and things like that. Basically falsified evidence. The police obviously... The head of the problem you got is the head of the police comes out and he says, there's no grooming in this town. No Muslim businesses are involved in grooming in this town. When I went and met many Muslims in that town, I found out there is grooming going on in that town. Yeah, there is. There is grooming going on in that town. And I know that because some of the Muslims told me information I needed to know, that the police need to know. And the police do know anyway. Yeah, they do know, because I found out so much what was going on in Barrow, one messed up place. Yeah, but I'm not saying, maybe she might need to be incarcerated. Yeah, but maybe she is a victim of something. Yeah, I had so many accusations from so many people close to her about things close to her. It was a mess. Yeah, it was a mess. But her stepdad, I found him, and whoever people, I was there to ask him, when are you going to tell the truth to the public? Because there's a massive campaign here. This town is on tender hooks, and a lot of men. For example, when I went to meet the Muslims, yeah, I met one lad who's had a business there for 30 years, family business. When he come to meet me, an English lad come with him, who was his mate, who moved up from London. And that lad said to me, Tommy, I follow everything you do, yeah, and I really admire what you do. This is my mate. I'm telling you, he ain't a rapist, yeah. I'm telling you he ain't a rapist, and I'm telling you he hasn't been grooming, yeah. I said, okay, mate, but I still want to investigate what's gone on here. Now, if that man is an innocent man, and he's been falsely labelled and tarnished, and his business has been tarnished and destroyed, then I did want to be the journalist that uncovers what's gone on in that town and tells people what's gone on in that town. Yeah, there is something up. I agree, Lily. There's something up, something seriously up, something maybe that she's been hiding for a long time. Yeah, maybe she has been covering for her originally abusers and blaming other men. Maybe all these things have gone on. Maybe, but based on her say so, can men's lives be absolutely and utterly tipped upside down and destroyed due to social media posts? They can't, and they shouldn't. Based on her say so, because her say so is previously multiple false accusations, and not just false accusations, but setups of men, and destroyed their lives. I had the one story of one boy, man, and do you know what annoys me actually about this? I'll tell you what annoys me about this. I'll just tell you straight. Some people distance themselves from me. Yeah? I sat with a boy who was suicidal in jail, who kissed his mum goodbye in the police station, told her he will never come out of prison if he's being held as a rapist. Yeah, he hadn't done anything wrong. That boy had messaged someone who I admired and respected. Yeah, a certain lady who's been prominent in exposing grooming, and he'd messaged her and said, "Please don't believe this from this girl about the Muslims. And she spoke to him, and he explained to her how she'd falsely accused him of rape, and she'd done all these things against him, and it was all lies. But this lady continued to pump this case and continued to say she was to pump this story, even though she knew. So I kept telling you, I didn't pump the story or the accusations against the men. I said I was there to investigate what was going on. There were men taking advantage of girls in some of those businesses. I found all that out, yeah. But on the Ellie case, keep your eyes on that case. It's going on in Boston. It's going on in Barrow. People were talking of a cover-up. I can only tell you what I found and read and saw evidence of, and that is false accusations against men multiple times. And you see, if any woman destroys a man's life like that, there should be punishment, because those men's lives were destroyed. Many of them, yeah? So we can't just jump on the bandwagon and believe it, or it shouldn't be, and Muslim men be destroyed, have their lives destroyed without due process or trial. So, because you just can't go off what that girl says, unfortunately. That's right. Anyway, that's that. I've been up for this. Yeah, she's been part for this, a sting to discredit your claims. I actually questioned that when I looked at her family's backgrounds. Like, everyone would jump on this story, everyone would support it. You see, after this story, they'll use this story to silence many other girls in many towns, which is why I wanted to expose him. Because if she's lied, and these men's lives have been destroyed, and I heard Panorama were floating about waiting in that town, then they're going to try and use it to discredit everyone. And any girls won't feel comfortable coming forward. So the damage that she could do, and the damage that could be done for rape victims in other towns and cities and for the whole grooming scandal is huge. I look into things and think, was this meant to be a setup? Am I meant to run in here all guns blazing? Because I'm not stupid, yeah? And am I meant to publicise and start pumping out accusations against these men when it can be proven that she's fraudulently set it all up? Yeah. So I didn't, and I went to tell the truth. The bail conditions are, they had to give her bail conditions to prevent her making more accusations against men. She went missing again. More accusations against men. Now, as I said, a Tate explanation. Let's get onto that. Yeah. Let's get onto that anyway. But that's the Ellie story, and I was still in the process of covering it when I got arrested and I was bailed and not allowed to enter the borough or the area. Is Tate playing chess? Is Tate playing chess? Let me tell you how I felt. When I saw it, and I saw Tate praying in a mosque, I felt like my missus had just cheated on me. So I messaged my ex and said, I know how you feel. I'm joking. I felt like, what is this? What's going on here? Yeah. Now, Tate is a chess player, and he's a very clever individual. And I sat there thinking the same. I've just seen a question pop up there. Is Tate playing chess? He doesn't make a move without thinking 3-4 moves ahead. Let me talk, first of all, let's not go into the Islam one, yeah? Let's look at what he's done because he's been cancelled. I think he will be remembered as their fuck-up with the cancel culture, because they cancelled me, yeah? I wasn't able to explode still, yeah? He's still exploded. He was on a live stream last night with 6ix9ine, the rapper. Now, this is where it gets worrying as well. He was on a live stream with 6ix9ine, the rapper, and 70,000 people watching live. That's not cancelled. That's a bigger live viewing than most people will ever get on any of the mainstream social medias. And that was on Rumble. He had 70,000 people live on Rumble. He has managed to, and I believe he's just getting started on what he's doing. Yeah. Now, so I saw him the day before he converted. I saw him with the Sheikh, whatever it is, the head Prince of Dubai. Yeah, they were together. Converted the next day. That Prince of Dubai is now on Gettr. Yeah, he's diversified Gettr because I've seen 10,000 Muslims join in the last day or so. So any of you watching here, salam alaikum. You won't stop us telling the truth about Islam. But with Andrew Tate, I don't follow him. He plays to fools. He's a clever man, and he has a game plan in everything. Was I disappointed to see Tate convert into Islam? Or as I say, submitting to Islam? Yeah, very disappointed. Do I believe Andrew Tate believes there was a unicorn that flew up to heaven with Muhammad on it? With the winged horse? No, I don't at all. Yeah, I don't believe that. But I'd like to know what he's doing. And I have asked Tate if I can sit down and have a podcast with him. I know him. I respect him. I know people. Tate's not on our side. He's a traitor. I see a lot of these comments as well, Jazz. I see a lot of people saying these things. If one of your friends, because one of my old friends converted to Islam as well, went to jail for fighting against Muslim gangs in Luton, came out one of them. Still maintained my friendship with him because we were friends going back to when we were young. Fell out then when we started the English Defence League. But as I said, I still disagreed with Islam, but I still maintain my friendship. So with what's happening with Andrew Tate, I'd like to try and speak sense to him. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get the move. I don't know who's been around him. I don't know. But as I said, he's not a stupid man. So some people say he's playing chess. I hope he is. I bloody hope he is. But where's it going? He's a very influential figure amongst the youth. Very influential. So that was my concern, is if the youth are listening and think that Islam is the way out of all this. Do you know what it is? I've listened to a lot of things Tate's been saying over the last 6 months. And he talks about a lot of values that Islam stands by that Christianity's given up. Yeah? And Christianity's become weak. And the church, not Christianity actually, the church, which is what I said, the church, that isn't Christianity, that's the church leadership. Many of them are Marxists and don't believe in Jesus. Yeah? They've infiltrated the church. They've weakened it. They've destroyed it from within. And lots of the things he says, like this LGBTQ+, I've said, and I've been saying it, Muslims will be our allies, okay? If we want to fight the New World Order, you want to stop it. You want to stop what is the biggest threat now, the globalist agenda, digital ID. You want to stop what's coming. The WEF puppet and everything that's going on. I'm just reading a comment there. You want to stop that. Muslims will be our allies. They will not bow down to this shit. Yeah? They will fight it. And you need unity to fight that. And I looked, and when he done that and thought, remember, who's cancelled him? He's been cancelled by everyone. And Islam in the prison system is the rebellious group that people join because they're downtrodden, they're beaten down, they ain't had much luck, and they want to fight. And they join Islam. And it gives them that sort of unity and rebel against the establishment, the system, against everything, because Islam battles all of it. And that's, so I was trying to question and think, is he joining that for that reason? I don't know. As I said, I'd love to sit down with him, and I hope that I get that opportunity and to sit and do probably an hour or 2 hour discussion on lots of things, not just about his conversion. I think there's lots to talk about. And yeah, that's my take on Tate anyway. He wants a safe haven when the shit hits the fan, and he will get that in that part of the world. Totally. Do you know what I mean? He would be safe in Dubai. I guess 6ix9ine was in Dubai because he's safe there, walking around. He's not safe in America. The church has become woke. Muhammad was an oppressor. I know all these things. I know all of these things. And no one needs to talk to me. No one needs to stress to me about what Islam is. I know what it is. Yeah? I know the agenda and the functioning of it. But I also know that a lot of Muslims are just cultural Muslims, part of their identity. Gettr would explode if you did a live stream with Tate. I agree. And that's what I'm hoping to do. So, I don't know what Tristan said about it. What I do know is I see a lot of people were saying what they're like and speaking about what they're like. I know that Tate it has a role, and he's exploded in that role, and he's made great success for himself. But I also know that both of them are good guys, and very good guys. Converting or not converting. And I stand by that. Yeah. I know people who have known them very, very closely. I know that Amir was Tate's sort of made Tate the man he is. Yeah, Amir is a Bosnian Muslim from Luton who's a very well-respected man. Yeah, by everyone in Luton. I've got good friends who he's trained and coached, and he's changed their lives, and he's meant to be a great man. I know that Tate's always been close to him, maintained close friendship with him, and I think Tate even believes he owes a lot to him for mentoring him. So Tate's always been close with Amir, and Tristan Tate can come see him, mate. Mate, Kanye West. Anyway, that's Tate. I'd rather just let Tate speak for himself than me guess what he's doing or why he's done it. I'd love the opportunity to talk to him about it. He's losing respect around here. I agree, Gerald. I've seen a lot of comments. I'm in a lot of group chats and a lot of people ain't happy. But do you know what? I also know what he's like. He don't give a shit what people think about him. He don't care. So he's got a game plan. If he's got a game plan, or if he has been coerced and found Islam, then we'll find. Time will tell, won't it? Do your research. I'm not your mum. Nice. What do we think about Kanye West? What does everyone think about Kanye West? I think he's a G. I think his comments. I have been writing and researching this issue that Kanye is talking about, because a lot of people want, in fact, when it's not spoken about, it leaves it open to seem that the only people who are speaking about it is the genuine, hardcore, anti-Jew, Jew hate, total Jewish hatred groups, yeah? And what Kanye said has got the whole world talking about this issue. So I don't want to delve too much into it, because I have been researching and researching. I wrote 30 pages. I put together 30 pages on this issue. For example, say for example, in Hollywood, I think Jews make up 2% of the United States, roughly. I've got all the figures, yeah, roughly 2%. But they're responsible for the head of Hollywood, 50 to 60% of the head positions in Hollywood. Yeah. Now, many people say, because of what Hollywood pushes, the anti-family, the pornography, the destruction of the family, all these different agendas, the woke, anti-white racism that's pushed from there, all these different things. Some people allege that it's a Jewish conspiracy with Hollywood. Yeah? Now, when you look at 100%, say 97% of them vote Democrat and fund, this is the people at the head of Hollywood, and fund all of these different agendas that are against us. Yeah. So that means the 50% of Jewish representative does, but the other 47% of non-Jewish representative also fund, also support, also vote Democrats, also play the same position roughly as the Jews at the top of this position. Yeah? So if 50% is a Jewish conspiracy, is the other 47% a non-Jewish conspiracy who are pushing the same agenda? So is it because they're Jews? That's the question I want to ask and look at. Yeah? Or is it their political beliefs and their stances? And why are there 50% if they only make up the low percent of the population? And what does that come down to? Is it IQ? Is it education? These are all the things I've been looking at. Jews rise to the top. Yeah, they're successful, very successful in business, in money, in education. And I want to ask those questions and look at lots of those questions. I do still keep in touch with Brian of London. I really respect and like Brian London. He's a very good friend of mine. So I do. He did mention Zionism. I also look at Zionism. Yeah. So I put together a detailed answer to all of this, and certain people of Jewish faith who are in positions of power, who are aiding and abetting the destruction of nation states, need calling out. And I don't think he helped. I don't agree with Kanye's Jewish, yeah, and just labeling it as Jews, going all out on Jews. Yeah? I think he needs to be specific and identify who's causing the problems and why. And that's what I attempt to do in my address of it, which has just taken a little while longer than, because I needed to research all these issues, because it's something I think we should have looked at for a long time. I think when you read it, it answers a lot of these. I've said to many people, I don't label Muslims. I don't talk about Muslims. I talk about Islam. Yeah, I don't come out and say every Muslim. Yeah, the same way I don't think people should be saying every Jew and Jewish or Jews. And I address that anyway. But I'll read you. I'll give a very detailed thing on everything to do with Kanye. Yeah, coming. Yeah, and I know that, and I'm reading here, and I'm aware of there are some Jews who are calling for the destruction of the white race, etc., etc. And them fuckers need calling out, total calling out. Yeah, but to align it as a mass worldwide Jewish conspiracy, that's the point I want to address in my statement about all of it. So, yeah, what Kanye said is free speech, totally. Yeah, it is free speech, and he should not be censored for it. And I think maybe he's done that to prove a point as well. Maybe he said it to prove a point, which I look at in the thing. Maybe he said it because at the same time as saying all this, he was highlighting the anti-white racism, which you're allowed to. You're allowed. He could have come out and said anything against whites. I fucking hate whites. Yeah, and he wouldn't have lost all his sponsorship deals. Maybe he's done it for that. But anyway, where else are we? What else we got? Elon Musk. Tommy, did you watch the documentary? Elon Musk. Are we yeah? And I like to research the issue and properly research it. Make sure that I'm scripted on it before I really pass comment on a lot of it. So, Elon Musk has just walked into Twitter HQ. Am I right? Who thinks we're going to get our accounts back? Who thinks? Yeah, hat and stuff. Yes, stop name dropping. Go on, Shand. What have I sold out to you? Donut. What about the new PM? He's a globalist, WEF puppet, and we'll end up with digital IDs. Maybe give him a chance, but we ain't got much choice, have we? So, what now? Research. So, what do you think about patriotic alternative? I think they're scumbag arseholes. That's what I think. Will you get back on Twitter? If I have my Twitter account back, I will enjoy causing meltdowns to the left. And I think we'll have a great platform. But what I will use my Twitter account for, if I'm honest, is to divert people onto Gettr. Because Gettr has become a home for us. My job is to get the message out to as many people as I can. So, yeah, I will use Gettr, of course. I'll be going live, doing my live streams and talks here. I'll always now use Gettr as my first point of call because it's been somewhere that gave me a home and gave me back my free speech when everyone else took it. So Elon Musk today has took control of it. I hope that in the next week I have my account back. And if I don't, I'll start a new one. So, and we'll get back. I think I had 475,000 followers on there at the time. But that was before everyone else's accounts were big. So we were well followed and maintained on Twitter. I deleted my life to concentrate on Twitter back in the day. So give me back my life when I got banned, but I'm about to lose it again, I think. But yeah, Gettr all day for me. Gettr all day for me. What else we got? Alex Jones. Alex Jones's financial terrorism. Alex Jones's court case, the Sandy Hook case. Do you know what? Whose fault is it? Whose fault do you think it is? I'll tell you whose fault I think it is. Whose fault is it that Alex Jones would have made accusations based on a conspiracy theory? If they hadn't fucking lied about everything, about wars, reason for going to wars, about terrorist attacks previously, if they hadn't lied to us about everything, you wouldn't question everything. You wouldn't see conspiracies in everything. But because you can no longer believe them, the media, the government, any of them, the FBI, you can't believe any of them. Yeah? Because you can't believe any of them, do I blame Alex Jones for looking at something and thinking, no, you're trying to take our guns and you have done this and you've created this and this is a false flag? No, I don't blame him. I blame you for lying continually to the people. You continually lie. He come out and apologised. Yeah? Look at some of the crimes some people have done. They're not dragged through. This isn't about punish. This is about destroying and silencing Alex Jones. That's all it's about. And the same tactic, Katie Hopkins was made bankrupt. Do you know they took her house? Katie Hopkins lost her home, her children's house. They bankrupted her. I heard about 2.7 trillion. Nearly £1 billion they hit him for. They want 2.7 trillion. They don't want him to ever be able to function again. And they won't stop. And this is a tactic used against everyone. You've seen it used against me. Time and time again. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds in legal costs through court systems. Obviously, you know I went bankrupt. They lied to the world about my case. And I was hit for £1 million nearly that was discharged in my bankruptcy. Then they took me straight back into court and started asking me more questions about my bankruptcy. And then they managed to lodge fines on me to do my bankruptcy that I'm now discharged from, that are allowed back in court. And I've got court orders now. I've got 20,000 and another, so it's £25,500, yeah, that I've just been banged with on the final court order this week. The 20 grand plus the 5.5. The 47 grand, I think, has been put back into my bankruptcy. So I'm sat here now, bearing in mind I haven't had a clean bill of health from courts since I started the English Defence League. There's not been one time in my entire activism I haven't been awaiting a court trial. Not one. At all. Whether it be bail conditions, whether it be pending charges, whether it be waiting to go jail, time and time again, I have constantly on the back of my head, and it's been a drain on it, and they know that, which is part of why they do it. Even if they don't get a conviction or a sentence out of you, they've done you, because they've been in your mind, and they've been dragging you down, and it's been in the back of your head the whole time, and the stress and the pressure of courts and all that, and it's draining, and they know that. So I'm still here, still smiling, and still fighting. So you may have tried, but you failed as far as you've gone. Yeah. But I've just got £25,500, and now I'm sat with the question of, do I pay the £25,500? Bearing in mind, you know, they took me to court. Their lawyers spent years on this case. They haven't been paid a penny. Yeah. They haven't been paid a penny because I didn't have a penny. Yeah. Jamal hasn't been paid a penny because I didn't have a penny. Don't get me wrong. If I did have money, they would have been paid some money. But I didn't have any money. Okay, I didn't have any finances, so they haven't been paid a penny. Yeah. So, but now I'm faced with the thing of, do I pay them £25,500? This is the question I've been asking myself for the last few weeks. Do I pay them because I've got the £20,000 got hit a little while ago, and I was waiting, which I thought was another 67 grand coming, but they only hit me for 5.5. The rest they're put into the bankruptcy. Yeah? You can read the forms, I put them out. So now I've got 25.5 grand. If that's paid, I have no more court cases for the first time. Don't know how long for, but I have no more court dates. It's gone. It's done. It's in the back of my life. And let me tell you, the bankruptcy, the court proceedings, the financial terrorism, the lawfare that I was subjected to has been the worst. And it's not, and I may laugh things off and make a joke, sitting eating big fillet steaks, talking about my bankruptcy and having the crack, because I laugh things off because that's the only option I have, is to try and laugh about it. But it was awful. They broke my family. They drove my family from their home. All of this made into a film and a documentary that they then got court orders. So I'm taken to court with no jury in the UK. I have all the evidence that proves my innocence, that proves I told the truth. All the evidence, yeah? Black and white, recorded, covertly recorded, school documents, everything. Teacher after teacher after teacher. And then I'm given it, so I'm found guilty by judge with no jury. And then I'm given a total silence me from ever giving you the truth. Or I go to jail. Freedom of speech in the UK, yeah? There you are. That's where we're at. And then whilst they do this, they then use the media to go boom around the world, telling them that I lied. Mental, mate. Absolutely fucking mental. But, as I said, I'm stuck with that case of do I or don't I? And if I'm honest, if I could get rid of that £25,500 bill and have my life back, in the sense that if I don't, they have my life for another 12 months minimum. When I say they, I mean their lawyers have control of my bank, of my life, of anything I do. I can't live. So, yeah, that's where I'm at a minute. And, yeah, that's where I'm at. Sorry. Hey, Julie. I have, so that's where I'm at. So the £5,500 meant to be paid by the 28th. What's the date now? Probably near the 28th, isn't it? That's meant to be paid by the 28th. The other bill's separate. I have put a link on here for anyone who wants to contribute towards that. We don't have it. It's not an Urban Scoop. The link's for Urban Scoop. I had agreement with them when I started working with them that they would fight for any of my legal fees that I needed paying. I haven't asked them to pay any yet because I wasn't bothered about them getting paid. I didn't have the money. They ain't getting paid. But this next one, if I could clear it and get rid of it, I think I'd like it gone. Well, I think it would be the first time that I've had freedom from waiting on pending charges. If not, I'll be put back into court. I'll be asked questions again in 12 months. They'll do exactly what they've just done. And they'll have control of my life I'll sort of play into their hands because it's probably what they want. So they can get me back in court, and costs and costs and costs. And if I went back to court to argue any of these points, I need lawyers. So whilst I don't want them having a single penny, I think for my own piece of sanity, if I could get rid of this, I would. So I have put a link in there for anyone who can. It's £25,500. If anyone who can, but it's £5,500 meant to be by the 28th. So anyone who can, there is a link in here. I really appreciate any of the support. As I said, if the money doesn't come in, I'll offer them a payment plan. I'll try and deal with a payment plan. Oh, well, I know £25,500 won't come in, so then they will be getting a payment plan offer because I can't pay £25,500. I know by the basics. I know the situation the whole country's in. But if anyone can support it, to chip it down, then I appreciate it. And where else are we? Mice Media. I've got an interesting interview on Sunday night, so please join me for the live. It's going to be live. I've been speaking to these Americans who have set up Mice Media. Now, I'm going to try and sell this too much because I'd rather you listen to it from the horse's mouth. They're interviewing me, but I want to interview them basically about what they're doing. And I want to ask them a straight question when they're on there. I think they were pivotal in setting up some huge media companies in the United States that were sold off. I believe some of the men involved were. Their idea is a decentralized sort of cryptocurrency-based media channel, yeah, and that can't be cancelled. And people come in and they become part of a movement, and they have, say, 10,000 supporters, and then they direct them as mice, like on anyone who tries to enforce cancel culture or. Joe, I'm not selling it very well, am I? I'll let them sell it, but log in on Sunday night. We'll be doing a live stream and a discussion on all of this. It's a great idea, yeah? All I've cared about and asked them is, do I get a position, if this media company hits off and you become very successful, does Tommy Robinson have a show? That's what I want to know. Does Tommy Robinson have a show? So we'll all ask them this, yeah, on Sunday night, because that's what I want. Give me my own show, mate. Give me my own show. So that's Mice Media. We've gone through Alex Jones. We've gone through the financial terrorism. Gone through Elon Musk. A fiver from everyone watching would get us pretty much to the point. Totally. But it never works like that. Honestly, it doesn't. I know people think it doesn't work like that. So the donation link is in here. If I could get rid of that bill, it would give me a whole... We're ready for the next fight. We're ready for the next fight either way anyway, yeah? Yes, I am. The European Parliament thing has been adjourned until 23rd of January because there's become an election in that country, or there was election campaigns that sprung up where I was due to be doing it. So, need link. The link's in this on this Gettr handle at the top. I shared it on this link. Yeah. Urban Scoop. Urban Scoop. The money that goes into Urban Scoop goes towards my case. They've agreed. So Urban Scoop have also been working on, about our immigration crisis or our invasion crisis. There's going to be a piece coming out or videos coming out where we've been, not me, where some other members of the team have been researching, videoing, going down, recording and interviewing, and we're going to put a little piece out together on that. So that work's also coming, yeah. Blown Up Labs, it's Ukraine. Yeah, I don't stand on this. I don't buy the bullshit pumped down by the Western media that we all have to support Ukraine and we all have to fund this war and we all have to keep giving all the money to this war and keep the war going for the globalist plan because they want rid of Putin, basically, for their new world order. When am I going on GB News? Never, because GB News is... I'm blacklisted. Not just I'm not allowed on there, but the presenters aren't allowed to talk about me. That's a fact. No one can dispute it. It's a fact. So, yeah. Anyone else got any points they want to talk about? 5,000 plus viewers live. I'm happy. It's good. Anne-Marie, Tom, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. I saw it at the UKIP thing. One thing I will say is UKIP, do not even go there. What a joke. They destroyed. They are 100%. That NEC is an establishment, is the establishment. Yeah. So when they saw UKIP growing in membership massively under Jared Batten, it was destroyed from within. He was got rid of. Best leader, Jared Batten's best politician we never had. Trust me. Such a man of integrity, man I admired. Britain first, yeah. So there's only one party out there at the minute compared to any of the others. So, what happened with your little girl's case with that pervert? He got a hung jury. And then she had to go back and give evidence again. And they made the whole thing about me, about who her dad is. UKIP stabbed Jared in back totally. Swedish don't. I think Labour is going to win. Yeah, Labour are going to win the next election. Let's talk about the man bag. Episode 5. It's coming. I've got 31st and the 1st, and then a week. You know what it is? Do you know what we seriously have to look at? We borrowed again for that last demonstration, yeah, to get everything funded. We still owe £5,000 now for it. Still behind on £5,000. But our monthly money that comes in, we just have to sit and wait for it to slot in to pay back the things from the last demo. That last demo was really, and it costs too much to hold a demonstration. It does. How's my leg? My leg's totally fine. Absolutely fine. Gettr is a liar. Hope Not Hate expose. That's what else is coming. So Hope Not Hate, you saw Hope Not Hate were going around creating sources. Yeah, they then, because Nick Lowles was writing a book about me. Yeah, he's then contacted me with 36 wild accusations that he's putting in his book, and he's wrote to me about who his sources of information are. Yeah, guess who his sources? His source is Kaylin Robertson. He actually quotes his source in my emails to me as Kaylin Robertson. Kaylin Robertson, who's someone who is on covert recording saying he was blackmailed by Hope Not Hate, who I have recent messages from, Kaylin Robertson, saying that it's still happening with Hope Not Hate. He wasn't just blackmailed, he was raped by Joe Mulhall of Hope Not Hate. Yeah? So basically, Nick Lowles has got sources, yeah, that he's created, blackmailed or paid, and they're going to sit down because he's asked them to, yeah, or got them to, and they're going to say crazy things about me. He's going to put it into a book, and his little friends in the media are going to pump those lies around the globe. That's basically what's going to happen. I give zero fucks, and neither should you, because it's comical. Yeah, and all you need to know about Nick Lowles and Hope Not Hate is everything I've already showed you in my expose documentary. You've seen how they work. You've seen that they're rats, they're snakes. You've seen that I'm a cash cow for Nick Lowles. Yeah, I am a total cash cow. Yeah, I've seen the new ITV drama. I haven't watched one bit of it because I don't trust one bit of it. I don't trust that they didn't set the dude up. I think Hope Not Hate step in where the police can't. The police can't entrap people. Hope Not Hate can. We've seen that. Yeah, they lie. They're fraudulent. The police can't do certain things, and neither can the media. Hope Not Hate act as a go-between and an agent to do that. So that's it. Yeah, they've got Hope Not Hate are fraudulent stitch-up liars. So I don't trust anything that's gone on with them. And that new documentary that they're now pumping around the country. Where's the documentary on the Muslim terrorists? Yeah, all of them. No. We wouldn't see a 5-part series on that, would we? You know what I mean? Kaylin is a rat. So, Tommy, why did you ever? I can't see. Snakes on the left. You read my mind, Tommy, 100% right there. Will you watch the World Cup? Will I watch the World Cup? I fell out of love with football over Black Lives Matter. So, the way they politicised it killed it for me. They absolutely took our sport and destroyed it. So, the fringe parties have to come together. Italy, I love her. Absolutely love her. Sweden, well done and all. I'm in Sweden next week. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm in Sweden next week. Stop oil protesters. I'll be totally honest. If they blocked my car, I was in a rush to get anywhere, they'd be getting filled in. So, nope. I don't know what happened to Lucy Brown. I don't, Tate, what's your opinion on he's a clown when you come in Leicester? Yeah, I do follow Peter Sweden, yeah. They shouldn't be playing in Qatar. No, they shouldn't be playing in Qatar. There's no way the World Cup should be in Qatar, ever. And all these presenters who pride themselves on being woke, a bit like Gary Neville, and he's pushing the World Cup now as well. Clowns, all of them. Clowns. Gary Lineker, Muppet. What was your message, Tommy, to Rishi Sunak? Happy Diwali. Bit delayed though. I don't know, mate. I don't know with Rishi Sunak. I don't know. They're all the same. The World Economic Forum are in control, basically. So, nothing changes. Nothing's going to change. So long as all the fringe political parties all still pretend they're not politically correct when they still are politically correct. They're still all controlled and run by whether it be city bankers or private educated. Where's the working class? That's all I think when I look at each of them. Not to say they don't do good work, all the little groups, whether it be Reform. Not to say that I don't believe that some of them are sound, but some of them ain't. Beckham's guitar. Same with the vaccine, all pushing the vaccine in it. You'll have an announcement on the Telford episode in the first week of November. Okay? That's what you'll hear. So, on that note, because my children are sat over here and they're waiting to watch a film, I'm going to... Hello, Helgawa. Hell, I promise you I'll come see you when I'm back. Yeah. And I've been meaning to for a while. I really told me I was fed up with footy. I love my football. I'm totally fed up. I still love Luton. Jordan Reynolds this Saturday. Make sure you watch that. He's at Wembley, yeah? Great Luton lad. Great representative of the town. Really nice kid. Really humble. And he's fighting on the Katie Taylor undercard. So, good night, everyone, yeah? Thanks for tuning in. Give it a share. And I'll speak to you next week. See you later.